tell me about 90.
Okay. 90 is a new era / 90 type sitcom. We face real world problems that are going on today, you know. And it's just trying to get a message across while also having fun and laughing.
Yeah,
you know, enjoying it. You know, trying to take the tough time of life off of your back. But yeah.
And I've watched everything. Was the most recent one Breakup?
Yes.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. It's really cheesy.
Yeah.
That's something that I really appreciate, is that you allow yourselves to be cheesy. That's not something that like happens a lot nowadays. I feel like probably since the early 2000s, everyone has just like gotten really afraid of like, no, you can't be over the top. Everything has to be subtle and meta and
Definitely.
So what's fun about being like goofballs?
Man, it's just it's a crazy feeling being able to work with Ashley, Ricky, and Deshari, because I chose these wild cats because
Wildcats, get your head in the game.
because, well, first of all, Ashley's in all my projects, and I was like, yo, she's a great actor, but I knew I wanted to give her some comedy because she always does drama, you know. And I was like, I'm gonna choose Ricky and Deshari because they're hilarious, and I was like, they'll be great with comedy. And I know that we'll have a fun time. You know, it's all about having fun, and just when you get to the part of filming, just making sure you can have fun with the people that you're working with.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know, just a boring time.
Yeah, and like he was saying earlier with how in the different episodes we tackle different like societal problems and things that are heavier, it's nice to take that time to like talk about the heavy stuff, but also bring back that realness, that funniness, that relatability to everything. And so that was really a fun part about doing this whole project.
Yeah.
So who's your character in the show?
So in 90, my character is Nia. I play LaRonn's girlfriend and Keisha's best friend. And then, of course, you have Michael, who's LaRonn's best friend as well. And so I'm kind of just, you know, typical girlfriend. I try to keep LaRonn's character level-headed, but also, like, let him know. Like, also kind of feed into his shenanigans as well as everybody else. And so that's really a big part of what Nia was to me, just being that kind of that grounding feature, but also being able to interact with everyone else just as well, and also feed into that comedy when I could.
And what's your character, LaRonn?
My name is
LaRonn.
Yeah, my character's name is LaRonn. Yeah, so I wanted to give because you know the old 90s shows, they had like Martin and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and with Will Smith, and Will was his name.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I'm gonna try to stick with the main character being, you know, his actual name.
Yeah.
So yes, LaRonn. But I tried to make my character as like almost a strong male, but like not stronger than Nia, the female.
Right.
Because I wanted to give the powerful black woman, you know, that she's the one that's going to be in charge of everything in the house. It's just like that the male is just there for like reinforcement just in case. You know, if anything happens to her, he got her back.
Right.
Because I feel as if nowadays that women aren't given the, excuse me, women aren't given the, what's the word? Platform? Yeah, women aren't given a platform to showcase all that they have.
Right.
You know, and they're put to the side. And like, instead of being a strong lead woman, they're that supporting weak woman.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give a change in that.
Yeah, it's great. You don't run this house.
Yeah, exactly.
He runs this house.
Pay the
Everybody
bills, though.
knows it.
But yeah, no, it's really refreshing. It's really cool to see stuff coming out of Oklahoma, stuff coming out of people that I know. I mean, also involved in it, I like was seeing names in the credits. It's like, oh, Aya's in there. Oh, Jordan's in there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What are these people doing?
Yeah, I actually want to give a shout out to them too, because Jordan, he actually executive produced and did some of the sound on like most of the 90 episodes, and the fact that him executive producing is amazing because I met him. I started working at H&M in January, where I met him, and then we actually started talking in February. You know, and then I pitched the show to him in March. So we knew each other for about a month. And I was like, yo, can you put money into the show for me? He was like, yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. So for him to do that was just amazing.
Real one.
Yeah, he's a real one. Yeah. And I was like, man. And then I think I hit up Aya about the makeup, doing a makeup artist for the show. Like, I think it was a week before the show started.
Right.
You know,
Shout out to Aya.
Yeah.
She powdered my nose. It was great.
Yeah, she just hopped aboard, and I was like, this is amazing. Thank you guys for that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what's really cool about, I mean, making a thing like this is that you get a whole bunch of different people from different walks of life.
Exactly, yeah.
Get them together and you move towards one thing. And it's sort of similar to, like, being in a band or being in, like, concert band as well, or being involved in sports. It's all kind of, it's a similar thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in sports?
Yeah, I was.
Yes.
I've been in track and field. I was on a basketball team in like middle school though.
Right.
But
Yeah. I played volleyball for 8 years.
yeah, she's a star.
Yeah.
Not really, but I did play for a long time. Did a lot of club and high school. It was great. It was fun. So working with the team has always been
Right.
a central part of my life and what I do.
How are your
And-
knees?
They're all right. They could be better, but they're making it.
Right.
I have a knee replacement like 25.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like working with a team.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's one of my favorite things about art and the whole thing with 90 is just like you were saying earlier, being able to bring in that diverse background of people and just coming all together to create art in this great project it's honestly the best part to me of the entire process. I love artistic collaboration. I love art. Everything, just
Yeah.
art. Art is my favorite thing ever. All forms of art, just not just acting, not just singing, which I do both a little bit, but just everything. I'm just a diversity freak. I just love everything. Like my motto is be different. And so
Facts.
being able to just bring in all of that and work it all and make it work together is a really, really cool experience. It's like what I base my life off of, honestly.
So I guess I got to ask LaRonn a bunch of questions earlier, but let's get to know you a little bit. What were some of the questions that you were wanting to answer earlier?
Okay, well, the big thing, the one that I started taking notes on was free will ? And I was like, because there is the whole thing with like free will and predestination and everything like that. And I feel like they work hand in hand, honestly, because you have the choice on like what way you get to the particular destination that's already set out for you. But either way, you're going to get there. You're either going to get there the hard way or the easy way. But no matter what choice that you make, or which way you decide to go, in the end, you're going to end up where you're supposed to be. And that's why that free will question was so interesting, because I was like, they work together. Diversity. Everyone is one. It's great. So that was the big one.
I
really-
appreciate I mean, sometimes people are scared of those questions. It's like, oh geez, I don't know.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I appreciate that you were like, ooh yeah, let me get in on that.
Oh, definitely.
It makes you think. It makes you think a lot.
Yes. I'm all about deep conversation.
So are you mainly an actress or mainly...
Yeah, that's mainly what I've done since I was 8 years old. I started film acting when I was 8, and then I did that. Yeah,
Oh, is that long?
8 years old. I was just like, Mom and Dad, I want an agent. And they were like, okay, we'll figure it out. And they did. And so, yep, I've been doing film stuff since I was 8. Kind of took a break from that when I moved away from Oklahoma. And I went to Virginia, and I went to high school all 4 years up there. And I was a part of the Center for Performing Arts program for theater. And so while I was up there, I did more theater performance, stage stuff. And that's really been my life most recently. I'm really just now getting back into film things with this summer with LaRonn and all of his projects. And so yeah, basically performance and acting has really been my core focus, what I've done most of the time. I did get a chance to direct my senior year of high school because I was in a performing arts program, and that was part of our senior project. We had to direct a one act. And so that was a really cool experience. It was very, very different from what I was used to, but it was really nice, again, with the whole collaborative art thing, even though you are sort of in that position of authority as the director, still it's nice to be able to collaborate with your actors and like get their feedback on certain things and like have this vision, but also be able to take their input and mold that into your vision. And so that was something that I really enjoyed doing and something that I would definitely want to try again. It was only like a 10-minute show, but it was a really great experience. And then I think this past spring semester, I got to be a stage manager for the first time.
Okay.
So that was also very new, very different. And so, but that was also
out of the wings.
literally all the time, or get to your places.
Right.
That was like everybody's in the dressing room talking, and I'm like, you go on stage in 2 seconds, please stop. But yeah, so that was also really different, but also really fun. And something that I'm definitely into exploring further.
I mean, I was involved in theater in high school, and I still, I perform music, but I perform like skits with friends, and so like I know full well the just dealing with a large cast on a stage and like trying to get people to
Yeah.
be somewhere at the right time.
Be where you need to be, please. just go. Yeah, definitely.
I wanted to ask a little bit about how do you guys feel like film has been going lately? We sort of have like the big blockbusters that are basically just pre-existing IP, and so it's like nobody's willing to take any risks. Here's the third Turtles remake,
Right.
or you know, a second Ghostbusters or whatever it might be. So like, but at the same time, there's really cool stuff coming out of driven artists, I would say, and like really good creative people. I mean, you mentioned Spike Lee on the last podcast, but like Black Klansman's coming out soon.
I want to check that out, definitely.
So excited for that.
Sorry to Bother You.
Oh, definitely.
I've been meaning to watch that.
Yeah, I gotta see that, man.
And then Blind Spotting is it's an indie movie by David Diggs and Rafael Casal.
Oh man,
David Diggs.
I love David
He's
Diggs.
amazing.
I'm obsessed with that man.
Amazing.
But if you haven't heard of Blind Spotting, you should go see Blind Spotting. It is really good, and
I think I saw like an ad for it on Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so good. But like, yeah, how do y'all feel about there's sort of like a good side of film and like a really cool artistic side, but then there's also just like this again.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
Yeah, I feel as if I like the fact that a lot of Black filmmakers are taking a risk.
Yes.
Because you know we don't see a lot of that anymore, and like when you take a risk, it touches a lot more people. You know, it touches a lot more than rather than seeing Ghostbusters 15. You know, it's like because don't get me wrong, those movies they're funny, they're good. You know, it's just like we've seen so many things like that before that we want something new, we want something different. You know, touching on these real world topics.
yeah.
And the fact that these people are like Spike Lee making Black Klansman, you know, just to show like, well, yo, that's interesting. Like seeing that happen, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And just Sorry to Bother You. Just I haven't got to check it out. I really want to, but like I've seen the trailers and the storyline looks so amazing.
Yeah.
And it catches your eye because it's different, you know, and it's not the same thing that's been going on.
Right. And I think bringing diversity back into the whole conversation again, people, because, you know, in society, marketable has been typical, like white, skinny, all that. But now more and more you're starting to see more of these like huge blockbuster like black led films
yeah.
like The Purge. I know the newest Purge was like a huge deal. Black Panther, obviously
Right.
a ginormous thing. I know there's a new movie coming out and I cannot remember the name of it. I just know my favorite actress of all time, Lupita Nyong'o, is in it. And that Jordan Peele is somehow associated with it. And I can't remember the name of it to save my life. But like just the fact that just something like black people in general, like things that haven't been as seen as marketable
Right.
in the film industry are now becoming like people are starting to realize like, oh, this is something that can be successful. This is something that's interesting. This is something that needs to be heard. These are stories that need to be communicated. And so that's what I see happening right now in the film industry that I feel is really positive. And yeah.
I mean, Black Panther didn't make millions for nothing. Like,
Exactly.
And that one line that Michael B. Jordan said at the end, I can't remember exactly what he said. He's
Yeah.
like,
I can't remember the exact
bury
words.
me in the ocean with my ancestors because they realized that slavery,
that
death was better than bondage.
Yeah. Iconic. I
That
cried.
line was amazing.
I cried. It was great.
I mean, just the fact that, well, like Ryan Coogler and like everyone involved, but the fact that, and I've been watching a lot of videos about how to write a good story or what makes a good film or whatever, and so they really packed as much sort of emotional weight into that scene because it's like, all right, not only is he your cousin and you just had to kill him and all of his motives were actually pretty understandable up to an extent, and so not only all of that and you had to kill him underground where all of this precious metal is, but also let's throw a little bit more in there and go, let's carry him out so he can see the sunset.
Right.
And like even whenever they were getting on the elevator, I started getting choked up. I'm like, oh geez, they're doing this thing.
Yeah.
So that is how you just pack so much more weight into a scene. But at the same time, I've also noticed that like a lot of money will not save your film.
Yeah, well,
That's true.
So it came out a couple of years ago, I think. The Circle. It had Tom Hanks and Emma Watson
Oh, yeah, I
and
remember
John
hearing about
Boyega
that.
in it. It was a bad movie. Like,
so much money went into it though.
right, exactly.
Yeah, that's always crazy when you hear about something and you hear about it for like that little blurb of a second, and then you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be huge," and then it just like
It
disappears.
just died.
Yeah, it's because of story though, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you don't have a good storyline, story arc, you know, and characters don't change up that much, then it's not going to be interesting to people.
Right. And but we're also seeing like a renaissance of like TV as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You got like the Netflix Marvel shows.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which some are arguably better than some of the movies. But then, I mean, Westworld, and I don't watch Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones, and all these shows that are like, wow, we can really take this somewhere else. And it's really cool to see that now, and it's similar in the music industry too, but like now that we have the internet and is sort of a more open platform, more people are able to do more creative stuff in a way that they want rather than these sort of bland and dry, like.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
What's sort of been your favorite recent TV show?
Ooh,
Insecure. Insecure is my new favorite show of all time because unfortunately Scandal was my favorite show until it ended. Rest in peace. But Insecure is definitely my favorite show right now on HBO. Because as a TCU student, you get HBO Go for free. It's great. But yeah, just Issa Rae and that whole thing. Like, I love Issa. She's one of my favorite people on the planet as well. And I just love the storyline. Like, because it's like real. It's just so natural. It's so just authentic. But it's still entertaining, and it's weird to kind of be able to do that, like such normal life things, like real life, but like have people like me who like can't live without it. So that's me. Insecure is the best thing going right now.
My show is it's a new show called Love Is. It's on the Oprah Winfrey Network. It's basically about this couple that they found each other in LA. They were both chasing a dream of becoming film. Well, she was already a writer, chasing a dream of becoming a writer, and then he was chasing the dream of becoming a film director. She was basically already at a higher position than he was. He moved out there with no money, and so they meet, and then a year later, they see each other again, and they end up falling for each other. And it's just a series of like the black love, and then the amount of time it takes to show that love is just not overnight. Love takes time, and just because you see that person right then and there, you can't have them, doesn't mean you'll never get them. Yeah. Saying you might see them in someplace else. Their mind might change about something, because in that year, you don't know what will happen.
I haven't seen either of those shows, so I'm excited to try that.
Yeah, I haven't seen Insecure either. I know it's bad, but I hear about it all the time. I need to watch it.
New season comes out August 12th. Yes, I'm promoting Insecure. Please, Issa, if you ever hear this, hire me on your writing team or as an actress. I'll take either one.
Right. And I see the same happening in music though too, is that maybe I'm just cynical and not paying enough attention, but like some of the biggest artists are just kind of putting out bland
Content,
stuff.
yeah.
But they're still the people who are willing to try cool stuff, and Janelle Monáe has always,
oh my gosh,
always been doing
the
coolest stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, another icon.
Right. She's so different, Yeah. Every project she puts out is a different look.
Right.
There's a different sound. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like when she acts too. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
When I saw her in Hidden Figures, I was like, "Say what?"
You see her in Hidden Figures. You see her in Moonlight.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and she completely changed up in those two things. Like
what
it just
does she
shows
not
her
do?
what can hold her down. What's her capacity? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
it's inspiring.
Have you
honestly.
seen Dirty Computer?
I haven't. No.
So her newest album, I think, came out earlier this year. She put out an album that is separate from the rest of her like concept. She has like the concept of but she also released like a movie with it. So it's an album of like music videos, but it tells a whole story. So she calls it a emotion picture.
Hey,
Wow.
that's nice.
Wow. She can do no wrong.
Right, yeah. Well,
That's crazy.
but the thing is that like artists like that are, I haven't heard that many people talking about Dirty Computer.
Right.
And so
Yeah, man. That's the thing. Like, that's what I think. Like, it clicked with Childish Gambino. 'Cause at first he was really weird. And people were like, "Yo, who is this dude?" And all that. I liked him at the beginning, but like a lot of people weren't on that. And then finally, as stuff went on, it was like, "Oh, he's doing like." It's cool. He's a weirdo, but he's making cool content.
Right.
And I feel like she's been in the game so long too, but people just aren't clicking with her yet. And I feel like it's because she's a woman. And sometimes I feel like because a lot of the dudes aren't gonna connect with her because she's not that strong male figure.
Right.
But a lot of the women will connect with her because she's that strong, woman figure.
Right.
It's just that the way society views people, man.
right.
It's just crazy how it can affect someone's fame, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Right, because it's crazy because you have so many people that have been doing so much stuff for so long, and then all of a sudden they get big. And I keep hearing that's like a constant thing in my friend groups and everything. They're like, oh, this song is so big right now, but it's like I have people in my friend group who are like, yeah, this song has been out for like 3+ years, and you're
Right.
just
Yeah.
now hearing
Yeah.
about it, and it's like, wow, it's just crazy how that dynamic works.
Exactly.
Well, because even you get people like Demi Lovato getting
yeah.
recently in the news because she's super high on heroin, but like,
Yeah.
but you're not hearing like the fact that Janelle Monáe is freaking just killing it.
Amazing,
Yeah, I know, right?
amazing.
But and same with Childish Gambino. Like,
Yeah.
This Is America blew up,
Oh
but
my
like
gosh, yeah, it was crazy.
because of the internet, he released with a screenplay. And he had like sort of like short films and a screenplay to read along with the album.
Yeah.
And all the press that he was doing to promote the album,
Exactly.
he was in character of the
Right.
character in the concept album.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that people are doing this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And
Like if you look at it too, like Childish Gambino at the beginning, he was always for the interviews, promoting his stuff. Like you say, he was in character. But then if you look at Janelle Monáe, she's not really doing that many interviews. She's just like she's putting out like, yo, this is my art, this is my creative space.
Right.
This is my
Here it
headspace.
is.
Here it is. Just take it.
right.
Right.
Have y'all heard of Moses Sumney?
Have not.
He's an example of someone that just makes pure art. I think he's a musician. He's a singer and instrumentalist. Jeez. But all of his music feels like art, almost before it feels like a song that you like jam out to. Like it's art.
I love him already.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
write this down.
And so I don't know, it's weird because we're seeing like a downfall of like, I'm kind of tired of the same rehashed like, yay, another Transformers movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, here's more artists that are willing to make art.
Sometimes they don't get, I don't want to say the word clout, but sometimes they don't get that, that exposure that they need, that they deserve.
Right.
Because they're different, and some people just don't like stuff being different. The select few that do like it being different, they don't. I don't know. They just don't
It's
get
not a big enough crowd yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it will be though. soon enough.
It's on the come up.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Right. Where do you guys want to be, and what sort of art do you want to make?
Man, I want to make art that inspires people. To be honest, I want to tell a story. Like, I love making comedy and everything. It's fun, but I feel as if I more so want to lean towards drama. Something that'll touch people's hearts in a way that when they leave the theater, they're like, yo, I got to be a better person. Or I got to do that. I want to, like I told you in the last podcast, my mom passed away. I want to make a film called Mama's Boy. And just the day, and just showing my life of the date I found out my mother passed. And so I feel like I want to just touch people, leave them thinking and wanting to become a better person. And like, wow, if that was me, how would I act? If that was me, what would I do in this situation? And it's just, I feel like if I can touch people, it'll change lives.
Yeah.
I'm big on authenticity. I just love authentic, true art in all forms. Like, I love championing, even though I'm like set in like a specific realm of artistry with like performing art, but just like dance, I enjoy going to dance concerts. I enjoy like listening in on like spoken word. Spoken word is like something that I recently discovered that's amazing, because I'm a double major in writing as well as theater. And so I just really got into the writing portion of it. But as far as art that I would like to create, just honing in on authenticity and real life experiences. And a lot of stuff that I do write is based off of things that I see in general in society and things that go down on a day to day. And so just being able to take that and put a creative spin on it, and like, because I'm really into like, this is random, but I'm into like absurdist theater and like the depth of it. Like, it's not necessarily like in your face what the message is, but like, like he was saying, like it takes you back for a second and you have to like think about it. Yeah. And there's multiple ways that you can think about it. You can, like, people can get tons of messages out of like just one simple thing.
Yeah,
like you can go into countless realms, and that's really what I love about art and creating. And so that's definitely the art that I'm wanting to put out.
Yeah. And I think even with my own stuff that I write songs, but it's not enough for me to just like write a song about like, ooh, I'm happy or I'm sad. I like telling stories in that. Right. And that's probably why I've spent a lot of time like watching films and analyzing films and seeing how it is done.
Yeah.
But like, it's also an interesting challenge that through a song, you have like, I don't know, span of 3 to 6 minutes to tell a
tell a story.
Right.
Like story arcs and everything. Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's gonna like force a change in topic. We are people of color in America.
Yes,
correct.
Yes, we are.
This is correct.
I'm not sure if I should be scared or like excited. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I totally feel you.
Like
definitely,
people are waking up to a lot of like, hey, this is really terrible what has been going on, and it's not even necessarily been overt up until recently, where people have just been overtly racist. But that is really scary.
Right.
What do y'all think?
You want to go?
I'm thinking about it because I agree, definitely. Like it's terrifying, but it's also like at least people are starting to realize what's been going on forever.
Right.
And that's the thing, is that it's been going on forever, and people are, again, like we were talking about with certain artists, like people have done this stuff since
for years,
the beginning. And it's just now starting to become like, people are starting to notice, people are starting to say things. And it's, like you said, it's scary and it's exciting at the same time, because you don't know what really is going to come out of it all in the end. And so that uncertainty factor there is what makes it kind of scary. I don't know if I'm making sense. This is an interesting topic.
It's crazy to me because people, they look at us differently because of the color of our skin. You know what I'm saying? But the funny thing is we all are red on the inside. So we all bleed the same way. You know what I'm saying? The blood flows the same way. We're all humans, you know? And just because of the color of my skin, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love the color of my skin. I'm glad, you know? Right. I appreciate, I love the fact that I'm black. I'm black and proud. Nah. But yeah, it's just scary in some points, but it's also eye-opening in other points, you know? Other ways, like when, I don't know, police brutality, like I said earlier, just cop shootings, police stops, you know, we think like, oh, shoot, we have to do this, and that. We have to keep our hands on the wheel at all times. We have to look at them directly in the eye.
That's so
you know,
crazy.
And then just with the president talking about putting up a wall, it's just crazy to me. I mean, we all just want to live the life to our fullest. You know, yeah, it goes back to me saying that peace, you know, in the world is what we need, because if we truly want to live a full, eventful life, we have to have that peace.
Yeah.
But it comes with a cost.
Right.
Right.
It's been a little bit different for me because I'm not that visibly Hispanic.
Yeah.
And like I've talked to different friends about it, but like I'm basically an honorary white dude because I came to the U.S. when I turned 6. And so I don't have Venezuelan culture embedded in everything that I do.
Right.
Definitely.
And so it's different for me because I mean my immigration status is something that is very scary to look at regarding the future.
Right.
Totally.
But at the same time, socially, I've actually never been a victim of any form of prejudice that I can tell, at least.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've been lucky enough to have lived all my life having not gone through that. But at the same time, there's still like a fear that, you know, someday the president could just be like, no more DACA. This list of 500,000 people we have, just get on the train cars.
Yeah. Yeah, see, like, yeah, don't get me wrong about it either. Like, when I get pulled over by a cop, you know, I've only been pulled over by once, and it wasn't bad,
Right.
You know, it was just, he said license registration, you know,
Right.
and that's standard cop procedure,
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't anything crazy. I had my friends in the car with me, and he just let me go on. You know, it's my first time. He gave me a warning, and he let me go on.
Right.
There was nothing wrong with it. You know,
Same.
I have nothing against cops. It's just you get that nervousness because of the stuff that's going on around the world.
Right.
You know, you get that nervousness because of what the president's doing, what he's saying. You know, you get that
Right.
nervousness because of what people around you are doing.
Mhm.
And it's not to nail a certain person. It's just to stay woke and just realize what's going on around you.
Being aware. Because, yeah, it's crazy. Because me and my dad literally had a conversation about that this morning. He, like, talked to me straight up. And he was like, if you ever get pulled over, make sure that you do this, 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 and this. And I was like, and he was like, it's sad that we have to have this conversation. But we have to have this conversation. And so, yeah, just things like that in this society is crazy.
But also at the same time, to sort of bring it to the other side, sometimes not even actually that bad. You just said, like, you
Right.
pulled over, everything was fine. There was no reason to feel anything, any sort of fear. It was just like, yep, same
Right.
thing, normal procedure, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, you will have just, I think a great majority of people are good people. And maybe I'm just a crazy optimist, but I think pretty much everyone is trying their best.
Yeah.
And the people who we see as bad people are just, they were also trying their best. And their version of their best may not be your version of their best.
That's a great way to look at it.
It is a good way to look at it, yeah.
Because I was talking to a friend about this the other day, but like in writing songs and writing poetry, I do try to put myself in the shoes of other characters.
Yeah.
You guys know this as actors.
Yeah, definitely.
But whenever you do put yourself in the shoes of this other character, you have to understand, like, oh, what happened in their life, what's going on in their life, what made them think that this was the right thing to do. Whenever the separating children thing first sort of blew up, I wrote a poem, just like free verse, putting myself in the shoes of a ICE agent.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not the villain here. I'm doing my job.
Right.
I'm trying to protect my country. I'm doing the best that I can. I don't really know if I can do anything about it, actually. Like, what am I going to do if I just go, no, we're not separating these children? Are you just going to fire me? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just
Right.
trying my best. And so we find it so easy to try and demonize these people that we can so easily just like, look, they're a villain. They're literally separating children from their parents.
Everything's
But-
so one-sided.
But at the same time, like, that guy's got a family too, and everyone's just kind of trying their best.
Yeah,
Right.
I feel that. Yeah, because just
Yeah.
thought of it, like, because you think he wants to be separated from his family.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was in a
Right.
situation, I feel like he feels the same way. It's like his job is on the line,
Mm.
but at the same time, it's kind of messed up because you're
Yeah.
separating somebody from their family. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just the world we live in, which is a sad thing to say. but
Right.
It's true.
Yeah, because they just get so caught up in their bubbles and they get caught up on one side of the conversation that people don't take the time to listen to that other side of the conversation or like think about or put them, like you were saying, put yourself in that other position because you're so focused on like this side and this side is right and that's it. And
Right.
it's not like there's multiple ends to the spectrum. Like there's two sides to every story. And so just people need to take that time to like become aware of that, I
Yeah.
guess, and like invest in that other side.
Yeah. And the more that we talk to each other, and that's the hard part, is that since we've tried so hard to make this rift so huge, that it's
Right.
like,
Exactly.
oh, that's a wealthy white dude. We have nothing in common.
Right.
But,
Exactly.
but the more that we keep ourselves separate, the less we're actually going to understand each other.
Exactly.
And understand that, you know, some rural farmer voted for Trump because they actually did think that he was going to do something good for them.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the same thing that a lot of people came out disappointed through Obama's presidency, that were like, oh, first black president, you know, things are good, things are looking up. But it's now we're on the other side of it, and here we are with, you know, the freaking pre-civil rights era.
Literally.
So I mean, we don't really know, and that's what's kind of scary about like looking forward, because we don't know what's ahead.
Yep.
Yeah. Where's all this
So,
chaos
like a back and
gonna
forth
lead?
situation, you know?
Right. Well, what do we have to look forward to?
That's true.
No, but I am asking, like, what do we have? Let's be optimistic about it. What do we have to look forward to?
Gosh. Oh, that's a deep question.
It's-
What do we have to look forward to? I would say a lot more. So, arguments a lot more. You know, a lot more. I feel like we have a lot more arguments, but then there's also gonna be like a lot more. Dang, that's crazy. I know it's gonna be a lot more arguments for a fact because no one can ever agree on anything.
But I think
you know?
with those arguments comes growth on
Exactly.
both sides.
Yeah.
And so, yes, there's going to be arguments, confrontation, negativity, but from that, you learn something.
Yeah.
And that's probably the most important thing to look forward to is the
Yeah.
growth of individuals and learning those things and learning something new, learning a different perspective that you've never thought of before.
Yeah.
If you just take the time to listen to it.
Right.
Yeah, like as long as we can grow today, then our tomorrow will be better. You know. So if we continue to grow, but there's gonna be arguments every day. You know, over
Yeah.
the years, there's gonna be more and more arguments. But just like Ashley said, the growth process is what's gonna make those arguments die down quicker than they would.
Yeah. And it is going to be some stuff that we ourselves are going to have to change our minds about.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like something that popped into my head. I may be, you know, a Hispanic dude that has very liberal points of view, but like with the gun thing, I fired guns before. They're a lot of fun. And like, I am not going to deny that.
Right.
So people who have guns and it's a hobby, people go hunting, and it's a real hobby, a real interest, and not everyone who owns a gun is like preparing for the apocalypse, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so it's sure that seems easy enough to accept, but then it's like, all right, now let's try and see what we can do about background checks. So it's the push and pull of like, all right, no, we don't actually want to just take all guns away. That seems impractical at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we do have to do something. And so compromise is something that we need to do.
Definitely,
Huge.
we definitely need compromise.
Compromise is huge.
But something that I like optimistically that I am looking forward to is actually progress.
Yes.
And one of my 3 things is it's going to be okay. We're just sort of like in the vast expanse of the universe and time flowing forward in an unstopping manner. It will keep going, and then it will be okay, whether we like it or not. So progress will sort of have to be made, whether or not we get into World War III and the world gets nuked into something, then we'll have to build up from there.
Right.
Or, we're finally going to see a change and we're going to go, okay, well, let's see what we can do better.
Yeah.
Let's educate people. Let's, treat people as individuals and treat them well. And we actually can make progress on that.
Definitely.
Exactly.
But we do have to believe that as well.
Very true.
Sort of last range of things. What's something that this is sort of my like outro for the second one?
Gotcha.
What's something that you've been watching, listening to, and playing, if you play any video games, that you want people to know about? One of each.
Insecure HBO. I'm kidding. Oh, jeez. Watch 90 on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching 90.
At LaRonn Marzette on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Hey, yes. Hey, help me get to 200 subscribers. I just got to 100 and like,
Cool.
I hit like 110, like I think it was in 2 days. So, yeah, 90 more. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been watching 90, listening to a lot of things. But, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately, actually, like just motivational, podcasts. They help me throughout the day, like Gary V, Eric Thomas. They're just motivational things that keep you going on your day.
Cool.
I feel as if when you wake up in the morning, you should listen to something motivational to get you up and started. And then what was the last one?
Playing
Playing video games.
We're playing Fortnite. Yeah, I got my first win today. I'm excited. I got to take a break from editing, so I was like, "Yeah, let's play the game." Got my first win. Never felt happy in my life.
Yes. For me, as far as listening is concerned, I've been really into playlists lately and like making my own. And I have this one that I'm currently building called Remember Your Crown. And it's just a bunch of like motivational like music that just hypes you up and makes you feel great about yourself. And a lot of that actually is like upbeat gospel music.
Cool.
That's been really
retweet.
It's becoming like a huge part of those playlists. So that's really what I've been listening to. And as far as playing is concerned, I'm trying to get back into piano.
Okay.
So I'm
Playing
playing
an instrument
the
is
piano.
the correct answer of that question.
Yeah, I'm not a video game person, but I play instruments occasionally.
Well, that's awesome. For me, watching game theorists on YouTube. But then I also realized that, they have film theorists on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So I just dove down that rabbit hole. But yes, also 90. And all the stuff that's all your short films and such.
Thank you, man.
Death by Intellect 2. The second one.
I've also been watching My Hero Academia with Sable. But
What's that?
it's anime.
Oh,
We're giant nerds. And then listening to Moses Sumney, like I said earlier. Sunlux has a new album, which is really cool. And I'm still on clipping. Clipping is my jam. Because I am obsessed with David Diggs. But yeah, if you haven't listened to clipping, it is harsh noise with really cool rapping. That's after their first album, David doesn't rap in first person, which is really interesting given that a lot of rap is ego driven.
Yeah.
So, yeah, clipping is very good. And then playing, not enough, I guess. I'm still sort of cycling through the indie games that come through Amazon Prime.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you have
yeah.
Amazon Prime, you get free games through Twitch. So that's really cool. So it's a lot of cool indie games. But I also tried picking up Pyre again, which is I should do with a controller because it's very hard without a controller and a mouse and keyboard. But very good game by the people that made my favorite game, Transistor. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for doing this with me.
Hey, thank you
No
for having
It's been
us.
fun, good conversation. We really ran the gamut there.
That's great.
So where can we find y'all and your things?
You can find us on YouTube under LaRonn Marzette. You can find 90, my new miniseries starring Ashley Parks, Deshari Miller.
That's me. Well, I'm Ashley
Well, she's
Parks, not
Ashley, yeah.
Deshari Miller. But
And,
catch her too. She's great.
Yeah, and Ricky Adams as well. You can also check out Death by Intellect 2, Death by Intellect 1, which is also starring Ashley. Yeah. And,
Hyped up right now. Thank you.
Just all my stuff on YouTube under LaRonn Marzette.
Yeah. Ashley, what do you got going on?
Same
Pretty much all
thing.
that, yeah.
I'm all over that YouTube channel.
She has a publishing company.
Oh yes! Ah, wow.
How'd you forget about your own
How
thing?
did I forget about my own little because it's like a small thing that I don't know. I do have a blog that I just started. It's a publishing company, apublishingco.com. It's this whole thing. But I do have that, and it's just a general like kind of like a blurb on the internet for the most part. I just talk about things. I publish some of my poetry on there, and just things that I kind of like this that I just want to talk about.
Yeah.
I post it on there if I'm really feeling it once a month. So, yeah, it exists. There you go.
It's there. Well, again, thank you guys. I'm Santiago Ramones.
I'm LaRonn Marzette.
I'm Ashley Parks.
You can find everything that I do on my website, santiagoramones.com. I make music, which you can download my demo, Songs with Words, for free or not for free. You can throw however many monies into that tip jar as you want. And then there's also stuff on my SoundCloud, which I haven't updated in like 2 years, but it's there. But you can also listen to this podcast through my website, through Apple Podcasts, through Stitcher, or on YouTube, and you can leave comments and reviews on all of those things. Let me know how you would answer some of the questions that we tackled today, like where's the film industry going, but also where is the world going, and what can we do about that? Yeah, I always end every podcast with my 3 things. They shape my life philosophy. Those 3 things are: love never fails, it's going to be okay, I might be wrong.